Okay, let's try this stupidity again. I have absolutely no clue why that happened. Let's see if we can get this going again, because I am honestly livid at this. This is not what you want to happen right before a fucking stream. I am really mad. I don't know why Streamlabs constantly does this shit. I plugged it in earlier and it was working just fine. And then at some point, when I never closed Streamlabs or anything, it decided that it's no longer going to use the Yeti mic that's plugged in. In fact, it doesn't even recognize it. Now it does. I think. Let me double check, because of fucking course everything has to go wrong right when I go live. How's everybody else doing? I think. Let me double check. Okay, it's working this time. That's fantastic. Now everybody else who was signed up to watch the other stream are now gonna wonder what the hell happened. Maybe not see this one. Wow, that is fantastic. So freaking stupid. Well, you know what? This is going to This is going to alter how this stream is going to go, I guess. Now I can be a little bit more fired up, let's say, about the stupid things I was gonna talk about with regards to quality. Let me get the calming music back on if I can figure out how I can. No, I actually don't know how I'm gonna do it again. Alright, hold on. Audio input capture. I think that's what I need. Yes. Yes. Sorry everyone, I am doing this on the fly. That's input, that's what I'm doing right now, and that's output, but that's not. Oh my god. Fan-fucking-tastic way to do another live stream. Unbelievable. No, I want the goddamn calming music! Give me my calming music! Ugh! Why? Why did it feel the need to do this? Okay, sources, let me see. Browser, game, audio input. It's not an input. I tried output, and that's not what I want. Media source, is that? No, that's not what I want. Browser source. Browser source should work. Let's see. Air. Yeah. I don't want to direct you. No. Cancel. So you are done. Yeah, you guys get to experience the technical difficulties I'm going to be having with this. Serenity now. Yes, I demand my serenity. I demand my peace. Give me my peaceful moment. It's gotta be this one. It's gotta be audio. That's what I had on before. So why, oh why, is it giving me whatever all this is? You know what? Maybe I'll try it. Hold on. Okay, go back to the calming music. Turn it back on. Alright, let me know if that is working for everybody. Turn it down. Alright, according to this, it should be working. Let me know. Give the chance, or give the chat a chance to catch up. Is this working? Can you hear the nice, calming serenity going on in the background? As I've lost pretty much all the viewers I was gonna have. A bit loud but nice. Okay. There we go. Now it's nice and filled with calmness, but the Teaman is not going to be filled with that. We've also got the windows open because it's a really nice day outside. And sure enough, some asshole on a bike is going to be coming by who knows how often. Okay, chat. Let's go ahead and begin the fun. Alright, something that's kind of funny is, so I have the chat window opened up, and it shows me who's saying what, and as you can see, it's also coming up on the screen, but when it's coming up on the screen, it's coming up at a different levels than what I see in the chat. So for example, Aiden Dixon says something, then Saiyan Sage says something that's in my regular chat. On the screen, it's gonna be flipped. That doesn't happen every single time, but it happens often enough. Arm Goblin, how is it going? Matsuri is the name of the anime convention I went to, Anime Matsuri, down in Houston, Texas. Which is what we're going to be talking about in just a little bit. I want to see if I can give people enough time to trickle on it. You know what? I should probably delete, because I was hearing that freaking that annoying sound, that screeching sound that was coming from the constant feedback loop of what it was before. Can't believe this. Alright. So, Anime Matsuri. The first convention I did in about 2 years almost. I can't remember if the Chicago International Tea Festival was the last convention I did. I'm pretty sure I did at least one more after that, but I can't fully remember. So this being the first one in so long, it was important. It was also important because this is the first giant convention I have done. Anime Matsuri, I think, is what, the third biggest convention in the entire United States, something like that. 40,000 plus people, more this year from what I have heard. And so it was highly important that I get every single little thing right. I have enough tea to go around, I have enough business cards, I have enough of everything. And it's a 16-hour drive, there and back. Really long drive, uncomfortable. I ache every time I do it. But overall, it was definitely worth it. I broke several records of my convention money goals. Not my goals, but you know what I mean. Like on Friday, I made the most out of one day than I have from any other convention day. Then I did it again on Saturday. And overall, the most money I've made at a convention, I more than doubled the previous record. So it was really good. Wait, you had like a set there? I thought you were just visiting. Nope, I had a booth set up. Now, some people forget I am not just a YouTuber. The YouTube is actually secondary to the entire business. So I had a nice little booth set up. Lots of people came by. And one of the goals whenever I go to these conventions is not necessarily how much money I make that weekend at the convention. What's more important is how many repeat customers I can bring in. That's one of the things that separates me from the other convention people there, I think. The other booths. There's not too many booths that would have people who want to follow them. I mean, I know from personal experience, out of the over 10 years that I have been going to conventions, there is only one booth I have ever found from one person who I wanted to actively follow, and it was an artist who made some of the best work I have seen. She's currently working for Magic the Gathering. Unfortunately, she moved away, so she's no longer coming to ASEN. Did any famous manga artists attend the event? For manga artists, I'm not sure. The biggest draw was Vic Mignogna, the voice actor. In terms of manga artists, I would have to look it up. Because when you go on with the booth, it doesn't really matter what programs there are, what guests are around, or anything of the sort. I am just focused completely on the booth. Man, I need to go to a convention one day, but maybe not since what stories I've heard from them. Go to the conventions. A lot of the stories, a lot of the bad stories, it's either you were already personally taking part in them, or you were in a situation where you put yourself there to be part of the story. You might experience some stuff as an onlooker, but you will not, unless you're trying to be a dick, you're not gonna end up being in one of those horrible situations. I have never personally been in any situation like that. An absurd amount of people trying to hit you up for some sexy fun time afterwards. Which is strange because I am not the most attractive person, but you get what you can get, I guess. So yeah, I am happy. So this is the third time I've been down to Texas, and this is the first time where on the way back, my car did not break down in a horrific way. So I'm happy about that. Yay! Is this this was probably the first giant con to have happened since the whole COVID lockdown thing ended. There were still some people wearing masks, but it was by choice and not by mandates. It was interesting to see. There was a lot of things that caught my attention. One of them, make sure I'm not being offensive when I say this. I mean no offense when I say this. In terms of cosplay quality, there was significantly fewer cosplays which made me go, holy crap, that is amazing. How much money did you spend on that? There was maybe 2 that I can recall. So that was a little bit disappointing. The cosplay amount was significantly lower than what I was used to. I was talking about something else before. Yeah, so at conventions, you don't really follow the booths too much after the convention, but I am unique in that case. Because I'm a pretty niche thing, and people notice that. So tea is a reusable thing, where you buy it, you run out, you get some more, as opposed to, let's say, a drawing, or a weapon, manga, or something of that nature. Keychain. And so people have an interest of wanting to come back to me. Which is why one of the things I stress is for people to follow us online. And a lot of people ask, hey, can you ship out to these places? Yeah, I do most of my business online. Could it be a coincidence about the cosplay thing? In relation to COVID, I honestly don't know. I could not really give you a good guess. You know what, while I speak, I'm gonna go and delete the freaking... One second. Because the more I think about the live stream that's still up, the more I hate it. So I'm gonna go and delete that right now. YouTube Studio... Content. Going live. That's the one. Copyright claim? Are you kidding me? I'm gonna explain why I am so upset. Well, first of all, let me see this copyright claim, because the video I'm watching right now is supposed to be no copyright, lo-fi beats to sleep/32. I specifically chose something that said no copyright on it. Let me see, details. Alright, well that's fantastic. So that means that this stream will also not be monetized. Oh my god. Okay. What is? I won't make it. I'll make it unlisted. Save. God, that was awful. Ugh. Yeah, I am unhappy at the moment. Alright. Have you ever played any of the Fable games? Yes, I played the first one, and the concept was there, but they did not do a good job of it, to be honest. Like, physical damage had no point whatsoever. I'll put it like this. I was trying to be a physical fighter with the first Fable, until I got to a point where I could not do shit. I think I was like in a tournament area and there was like these giant trees I had to fight. So what I did was I had a lightning bolt spell and I just cast that repeatedly over and over again, and I gained a ridiculous amount of experience. And from there I realized that, hey, this physical stuff is pointless, just stick with magic. And the good and evil system was nice in theory, but they did not do a good job of properly implementing it, I thought. It was a little bit too linear. What am I unhappy about? The last stream. I don't know, were you around, Aiden Dixon? The stream that happened, 23 minutes ago. I launched Streamlabs and it freaking did not pick up my Yeti mic. Alright, forget about it. Let's get back to Matsuri. So I had certain goals. The big goal was to sell out completely of every single thing I had. Unfortunately, I did not hit that, so that's sad. It was an intense last couple of months, because aside from my normal budget, I spent over $1,500 above my usual spending for the month. $1,500 more. Which is a lot of money for somebody who usually budgets down to the last cent. Oh, so much tea. So much tea. What other things was there about it? So yeah, I got completely thrown off track with the Streamlabs thing. It is still bothering me. After I did that, I developed a whole bunch of new systems to make sure everything goes smoother. It's amazing how much better things run when you just solve for a couple of key issues, and how much just a couple of seconds saves in the long run. A couple of seconds saves a couple of minutes, which saves a couple of hours. So aside from the $1,500 above normal budget, I had the incident with my electronics. My laptop was out for over a week. So that's over a week that I could not finish a lot of work I had to do. The last week and a half before Matsuri was a sprint from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to bed. It was not fun. One of the things I keep saying is that the business portion of all this is not fun. It's not why I do the stuff I do. But the rewards are what really makes the whole thing worth it. So speaking about the electronics, here's a funny little thing. Several funny little things. So luckily I had renter's insurance that paid out for it, and I got myself a brand new TV/computer monitor. I'm gonna use the TV as both, because it's got the capabilities of being both. And it managed to mess up with my budget again, because I was given an estimated amount of money that my insurance company was supposed to pay out to me, but they paid out less than half of what they said they were going to. And apparently the reason why was because the TV was not expensive enough. It was $2,000. And they said I had to try and match the price of the TV that broke, of how much that cost, which was $2,600 in 2012 money. So if I had only put more money into it, I would have gotten more money back. Lesson learned, I guess. I have the ability to also get me another computer monitor, because I have money waiting for that as well if I want to cash out. But I don't know if I actually want to do that. One, it seems like it might be excessive. And two, I still have to pay some money for that. And I don't know if it's going to help me do streaming, video editing, anything of that sort. But we'll see. So the TV was supposed to come in yesterday, but I currently do not have said TV. It was a really interesting phone call I got that Thursday, where they said they couldn't find it. They couldn't find a 65-inch television. It was just gone, I guess. Well, okay, if that's the way it's gotta be. Later on that night, I get a phone call from Georgia. I pick up, and on the other line is somebody asking me if I ordered a 65-inch TV by chance. And then the bells clicked. The bells clicked? The bells rang in my head, and I figured out what happened. And sure enough, they delivered my TV to the wrong house in Georgia. For those who don't remember, I am in northern Illinois, so there's quite a good distance. The shipping company did not figure this out. It had to be this guy. My name and phone number were on the packing slip, so he could give me a call. So yeah, that is my tale of my television set somehow being lost by the shipping company. And so now I have to wait for them to grab it from Georgia, bring it all the way back up here, and I can get back to video editing. Which is not too much of a problem, because I am still working on the script for my next video. The next video is going to be, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna talk too much about it, because I want it to be more of a surprise. But it's gonna be more on the serious side of things. The last couple of videos I've made have had more of a joking tone than a serious tone to it, and so I want to balance that out a little bit. Correct, they sent it to the wrong state. I don't know how they make such a big mistake, but whatever. The one thing that would have been nice is if they offered me some kind of compensation for this mistake. I don't know what they could have done, but overall, how was Matsuri? It was fantastic. Exhausting and painful, but fantastic overall. Like I said, I made a good amount of money. I gained a great amount of people who are going to be repeat customers. I mean, the biggest repeat customer I have who spent over $2,000 on my tea, just a lot of tea, is somebody who they saw me at a convention. And so conventions should be viewed more as really good advertising as opposed to the end-all be-all moneymaker. I'm not gonna say exactly how much I made, but it was slightly under $4,000 for the weekend. And from what I can pick up, for a lot of vendors, that's not enough to make for a 40,000 plus person con. But like I mentioned before, the difference between them and me is that my customers come back, and so it's a reoccurring payment. And on that note of recurring payment, I managed to relaunch my Tea of the Month Club, where they ended up basically throwing away the previous Tea of the Month Club, the app that I had on the website, and so I had to start over. Luckily, once you figured out how to use it, it was not difficult to get it going. But yeah, Tea of the Month Club is back on, so if you want to support me via some method in which you get something back, join the Tea of the Month Club. You can get tea either every month, every 2 weeks or every week, depending on your choice. Mailed right to your door. That's been growing quite nicely. I am happy about that. The more support I get, the more I can focus on doing the work for this channel. And it's been growing. I still got a ways to go before I can make this channel a big focus, but gotta start somewhere. Now the question is, what convention can I do next? This is one of the issues with doing these types of conventions, is they want you to buy the booth months in advance. I can understand why. I can understand there'd be a lot of issues if somebody tried to pull the, oh, I promise I'll pay you after the convention, after I make a bunch of money. Then the convention comes up and all of a sudden, oh, sorry, I didn't make enough, I need to be able to get home. I imagine that would be highly annoying. But I really wish there were some conventions that let me do that. Because I would love to sign up for Anime Matsuri again, but I don't have $800 to $900 to drop on a booth in which I don't see any return until a year later. That is not in my current budget. But it is what it is, I guess. Some of the other interesting highlights from Matsuri is I managed to meet Mr. Nick Ricada, which is the YouTube lawyer who really helped slingshot the business into something that was more sustainable. Before he gave me that giant shout out on his channel, you know, I was trekking along. Wasn't terrible, but was not enough to make a living off of. And after he gave me the giant shout out, oh man, things escalated, which was fantastic. Did anything funny happen? No, from where I was, because you gotta remember, I am in the exact same spot for a good 7 to 9 hours a day, depending if it's Friday or Saturday. Or, what was it, 5 hours Sunday? 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 hours Sunday. So in terms of funny, I didn't really see much. I got to meet a lot of people from various Discord channels I am at. Something that's kind of funny for me, well, more surreal than funny, is when certain people walk by my booth and they stop and they look really shocked and wonder to themselves, wait a minute, the Dragon's Treasure? I see you all over YouTube. It's just a really, really weird feeling to be recognized by somebody you don't know. Makes you go, okay, I'm doing something right here. I expected it to be a bit more famous before any of that happened, but I'll take it. Because it happened multiple times, it didn't happen with just one person. So it's a good sign. It shows that I am growing, the channel is growing, steadily gaining more views again. I didn't talk about this too much before, but I was going on a really nice hot streak after my video hit 1 million views. And then when I did the live stream, it dropped like a rock. I went from around 28,000 views a day to 3,000 almost overnight. That's a huge drop, isn't it? Which is the second time this has happened where I am increasing like crazy and all of a sudden, boom, brick wall. So I'm fairly certain YouTube has got something going in its algorithm, because I am not one of the favorite people that they just stop the growth. But it is what it is. Hello, Mr. Frog G. Just hopping by to leave a like. I will take the like, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us, even if it's just to drop a like, but it's something. Every single little bit helps. Alright. Talking about quality. What really sucks is that little itty bitty thing with the, well, it wasn't little, it was actually giant, with Streamlabs really threw me for a loop, and now everything feels off. I managed to even lose some of my notes because I was closing out of everything trying to fix this issue. So one of the things I got was a brand new phone. The previous phone was a Galaxy S9, but it became so broken that it became basically unusable. I could not have conversations unless it was on speakerphone. The screen was broken in several different ways, etc, etc. So it got me an upgrade, quote unquote, to the Galaxy S20, which is the next generation from what I had. And for several reasons, despite it being next generation, I'm not really feeling the upgrades. One of the big annoying things is that it doesn't have a headphone jack, which I thought it was just Apple that does that type of stupidity. But apparently, Samsung is doing it as well now. I did not notice until after I got the phone, which is really annoying. I mean, it's running, it's going smoothly, it just doesn't feel right. It's hard to explain. Do you think that power levels in anime like 7 Deadly Sins Dragon Ball lowered their quality? Dragon Ball... If they kept it going after the Frieza Saga, I would have said yes. But it felt like a cool little thing from the same to the Frieza Saga. 7 Deadly Sins, definitely. The way they handled power levels was unbelievably stupid. I'm honestly not a fan of 7 Deadly Sins past the first season. Aside from Pride, the second season was pretty garbage. Third season, fourth season, just not a fan. Because of how silly they made the power levels. Oh look, all of these humanoid people that we were fighting against and struggling with have a power level of around 3,000 determined by... Bleh. Meanwhile, the demons we're gonna be fighting have power levels of something like 26,000 in their weakened state. And apparently the 7 Deadly Sins can fight against all that? So, good job. I guess. Making everyone and everything irrelevant. With the phone situation, welcome to modern phone making. It's not just the phones though, and that's the big problem. It's in the phones, it's definitely in anime. When I get to TV, I get to see if it's gonna be in TVs. What other things was there? Customer service, new stores being built. It seems like in every single little thing, people have forgotten about quality. And things have become a little bit too... I don't want to say commercialized, but commercialized. It's not the exact right word I'm looking for. It's hard to describe. I'll use me as an example for the stuff I do. If I had an option to make insert maximum amount of money possible, but people don't like my stuff, versus half the maximum amount of money possible, but everyone loves my stuff, I would go with... I hate my accent. I would go with the second option. Honestly, the removal of things like USB ports and headphone jacks shows that companies don't want to work with each other in an inferred way. Yes, they keep removing stuff to make you buy more things to add on to it. Like now, I have to buy an extension so I can use the headphone jack. Because guess what? My car, like 99% of cars out there, don't have Bluetooth that just connects directly to the phone. Well, mine does, but it only uses it for phone calls. Stuff like that is horrible. Imagine an anime sitcom of filler and throwaway anime villains. I don't have to imagine that. It's called isekai. That's all isekai is nowadays. Just a sitcom, filler, throwaway anime villains. Everything's become so generic and cookie color that's awful. Because all these companies are worried about doing is just making as much money as humanly possible. Nobody Nobody cares about the soul of what they're doing. But at the same time, I gotta be honest, I am throwing everyone else under the bus. People seem to want that and love it. I've used this example before, I'm pretty sure, on the good old YouTubes in a community post. Let's say there's a weeb who has $100 at a convention, and you lay out in front of him a bunch of items that are good quality but cost $20 each. He's probably not going to buy any of them. He's got to think about rent and food, and I don't know if it's going to be worth it. I mean, do I really need this stuff? Take the same weeb, the same $100, and lay out the same amount of stuff that's cheap quality but $5, and they're going to spend $300 after borrowing money from their friends, buying all of this cheap crap. People talk about how they want things to always be better and good quality and all this other stuff. But from my personal observations of everybody else, they don't actually want that. And it's weird to say, because who is going to agree with me? Who's going to say, yeah, I agree, Teaman, I only want the cheap crap. And I want to spend more money on cheap crap than less money on good stuff. It's not something anyone's going to agree with. But at the same time, that's all you really see. And I'm trying to figure out how to properly change people's courses with that. Because with my tea shop, there is so much that goes into it that makes me love what I do. The money is not the first thing. Would life be better if quality was cheaper and easier to achieve? I mean, if it's the same quality for cheaper and easier, sure. It's not too much of a problem. I mean, if you look at the TV I'm getting, it's over $600 cheaper than the TV that my parents got in 2012, which is the one that broke. It's cheaper despite inflation, and is much higher end than what this TV was. The new TV is going to be 4K. It's got things loaded up in it so it can play games at 4K and not and not stutter. The refresh rate is really high, yada yada yada. So it's much higher quality but cheaper, and that's just fine. But most people don't seem to wanna do that. Here's one of the bad things I noticed while walking around Anime Matsuri. And this is not a fault of the convention, this is just the convention folk itself. And I noticed this especially at the Artist Alley, which apparently received some complaints. A lot of these people at the booths seem to only try and sell junk. Pure junk. Not all. I'm not saying all by any means. There were some people that have really high quality stuff that I loved. And I wish I'd take more business cards so I can actually help promote them. There's also a lot of people who look like they just robbed a gotcha store and just kind of threw things out there and hope people would buy the cheap crap that they have. And if they're going all the way to a $900 for the booth convention selling this stuff, they must expect a lot of people to want to buy this stuff. Could you give some examples of the junk? If I want to keep it vague so I don't accidentally call somebody out. Some stores that sold action figures. They sold the type of action figures that had like eyes pointing in different directions. The biggest difference probably they made it themselves. Not in what I'm talking about right now. Like with the action figures I mentioned. Maybe the place that was selling keychains they might have been of that low quality. Yeah, I'm safe saying that because they were not only selling keychains, they were selling a bunch of other stuff. Really the most prominent place is Artist Alley, and this is something which I've been saying to what friends I have left for years now. The quality in the art is going down, and it's been going down. The technical skill is doing pretty good. They're making all the right lines, and you can see the art class paying off here and there, but it's lacking a certain soul. If anybody listens to a lot of music, especially if it's live, maybe you notice that there's somebody who's singing live and they're hitting the notes, but you're not really feeling the passion in their singing. There's no power in the words. They're just hitting the notes. It's like, okay, you sing the song, good job. It's kind of like that with Artist Alley. And I'm not just talking about Matsuri. It was even before COVID, I've been noticing these things. People are just trying to make drawings to either A, hit people's nostalgia, and at some point I'm gonna make a video on nostalgia and just rip it to shreds, because people need to stop living in nostalgia. The stuff that you think was fantastic when you were growing up, it wasn't. It was actually pretty bad. My question is, how can you tell some made something with soul? There's no real way to describe it. It's something which you have to just kind of know about. Let me see if I can relate it to tea somehow. Nah, not enough people know the ins and outs of tea, so that's not gonna work. Oh, 1 second, my cat is trying to jump all over the laptop. Go away. I'm not a 90s kid, but I think 90s in general had quality art and passion. Passion, probably. Actually, definitely. They have the opposite problem of today, where companies like Hasbro and whatnot just want to just make generic crap just to sell toys. But the artists were like, no, we're gonna actually put thought and effort into this. Well, now it's almost the opposite. I'll give you an example you can test out yourself. Go watch the first episode of the original X-Men cartoon show. You know, the one that had the really awesome opening. Just try and watch the first episode. It's really bad. It really, really is. Shows that I liked in the past, Dexter's Lab. They have a few good episodes, but most are just the junk. Batman, the animated series. That one's probably gonna piss a lot of people off. Like, Musashi, come on, go away. He keeps trying to walk all over the keyboard. Yeah, that one I'm probably gonna piss a lot of people off. Batman, the animated series is nowhere near as good as people remember it. And it was sad for me because I remembered it as being something really fantastic. Until I began watching a few episodes, and aside from, 3 or 4 episodes a season, most of it was pretty bad and not entertaining. With that being said, they did put a lot of thought and effort into a lot of things, like getting around the censorship. One of the things they could not show, especially back then, was guns. But if you remember Batman, they had a lot of guns in it. The reason why is they found a loophole where they used a lot of Tommy guns. That was not a modern day weapon, so the censors allowed it. So all the bad guys in the 90s had Tommy guns. It's pretty funny, actually. I'll use Isekai as an example because that's a pretty common whipping boy that everybody can understand. We all know the meme of how every single isekai seems to happen in the exact same circular town. People posting pictures all over the place. And you can just see it's just one circle, the same river flows through the same angle, and it's just awful. Especially with the OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah. Talk about not caring about the rules. Got to bounce? Alright, farewell. What was I talking about that before the OG Yu-Gi-Oh? Oh yeah, isekai. Nearly every isekai is just... They don't care about the characters. There's no life in them. They're just the generic elf, the generic tsundere, the generic tits. Because you have to have a character showing their tits, because that brings people in. At some point I gotta do a live stream talking about my Naruto video and the tricks I use to make people like that video more than they should. To give a little preview, there is a reason why I decided to use High School of the Dead, which is relatively obscure, like people know of it, but not that many people of modern age have seen it or know much about it. And the reason I used it is because, one, it still filled the goal I was trying to have with the examples, but two, tits. That's why I used it. That's one of the ways I manipulated people into liking the video more than they should. I thought it was because they were all from the mob. Two-Face was from the mob, but... You know, the Joker, Riddler, Penguin... No, Penguin was also a mobster type of person. Mostly since I want to make games something that make people feel like I am passionate about it. Yeah, God bless you for wanting to do that, actually, Aiden. How do I pronounce it? Aiden? I'm not sure. I should just call you Penguin Face. Harem anime did in 2000s really have no soul. Yeah. Something I want to do is rewatch Tenshi Muyo and see if it's like how I remember. Because I was, 90, so 10 years old. Ooh, look at all the breasts. I must have been excited. I have no idea if Tenshi actually holds up today, but I'll see at some point. Yeah, mostly since I want to make games something that's make people feel like I am passionate about it. And that is something we need more of. If you just focus on the passion like you used to, like people used to, things would still so... I already made a few videos on this. I don't know how I forgot about these examples. EA Sports and things like FIFA, NFL, those games in which every single freaking year people rate it badly and say, hey, it's just a rehash. FIFA 2021 is just the same game as FIFA 2020. And that game was the same game as FIFA 19. And that game was the same as FIFA 18. They just updated the roster. Every single year, people complain about how bad these games are, how low quality these games are, but they still freaking buy them. What am I supposed to say to that? How am I supposed to be nice to these people and say, well, you kind of dumb. What do you want me to tell you? You knew this was going to happen because it's happened the past 6 or 7 years. Like clockwork. They keep screwing you over, and you keep accepting it. At what point can I just tell you to shut up? Because you're giving nothing to the conversation. That's a bit meaner than I wanted to be. I'm still peeved at Streamlabs. This is gonna bug me all day. Luckily, we got the calming music that apparently is copyright, even though they said it's not. I'm not bitter about that or anything. Anyway. So that's a perfect example of just soulless games that everybody knows there is no soul in them. Everybody knows it's going to be a bad game that's just going to reskin the old game that was already really bad, and they still buy it. Come on. What are you doing? What are you doing? Silly people. At first they made the sports games were a cash grab for the small studio, then they became the point. Sorry, just adjusting myself and whatnot. There we go, that's more comfortable. Now let me know if the audio is off now because I move things around. I don't want to just focus on the sports team because that's an easy winning boy. Alright, so Aiden, you were talking about making games with a passion. Was FIFA ever good? That's a good question. I was looking a little bit more into the history of EA and the history of Activision. So, here's a fun little fact. Activision is one of the worst companies at the moment. But Activision started out. So, giving a really brief too long didn't read about Activision's history is that when Atari was making games, they did not give any credit to the people who helped make the games, because usually each game had one person working on it, because that's all you could do. And the people who were making the games got no credit, and they were not getting any cut of the money. So if some game sold like 20 million units, nobody would see any of that who made the game itself. And so somebody decided, okay, screw this. So they went and made Activision, the first third-party video game making platform, with the sole intent of giving credit to the people who made the games and who paid the people well if the game did well. So as you can see, there was people who actually cared. But so what? It eventually changed. I can't remember exactly when it changed, but they got a new CEO. And this is important. They were doing fine before this. That's what's really driving me insane. Activision was not in a bad spot when this new CEO came in. And he's the one who saw that, hey, you can just rehash the same game over and over again and make money that way. In fact, that was one of the policies where if it was a game where you could not make sequel after sequel after sequel, they no longer wanted to be a part of it. They did not want to take any risks. That's no good. But now that's become like the industry standard. Because quality has gone down. That's what I mean with quality going down. A lot less love, a lot less care. And because of that, there is a lot of stuff which ends up getting lost. Ooh, here's a prime example, actually, modern day example. The game Shadow of Mordor, you know, the Lord of the Rings game where they created the Nemesis system. If you don't know that game, I'll give just a brief overview of this. The Nemesis system was a cool little thing they had where if you fought a specific orc in the game and he survived the beating you got him, depending on what you did, when you see him in combat again later on, he would remember you. And he would react to you depending on what you did. And they had like this whole system and ranking and whatnot that was a really cool system. And they said that they were going to share it until they decided, no, we're going to copyright, trademark, which one was it? They were going to choose the one in which if you did the same thing, they could sue you. And you would have to pay them money. I mean, if something is good, the first people will want more. Yeah. There's a lot of really simple, basic stuff that these companies have kind of forgotten about. Well, actually not forgotten about, but I mean, why should they change? Why should they change? Honest to God question. Because every year, they're making record profits from these games. The same games that people say is awful, they keep making record profits and people keep giving them money. What about indie games? I have not played enough indie games to really talk about that. I can't talk about that because I don't know enough to really be able to do much about that. Or to talk about it, sorry. Patented the Nemesis. There we go. They patented the Nemesis system. And so there's a lot of things I want to be able to do in which I want to be able to share what I do because I want to see what other people can create. It's not purely about the money. And it's funny, when I originally started this business, I thought, and this is the naive young me back in the day, I thought that if I had this goal in mind, the money would naturally flow to me, because people would see the quality and the love and the care I put into what I do, and decide, hey, this person actually cares, I'm gonna give them money instead. No. That was naive of me. Hashtag not all. Some people do feel that way, and I love those people for it. But most, no. They will always flock to the junk. I should use someone that's not me as an example, because people are gonna think I'm just bitching about my situation. But this applies to any small level streamer. I have heard many people talk about how they have a Netflix subscription that they watch maybe one thing a month for those $10 a month that they pay. And when they get asked by either me or somebody else, why not instead give that money to, let's say, a small-time streamer to help him? Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. Do you think that quality will become better someday and that people will recognize it? Well, one of the things I'm hoping is that I'm gonna force them to. But that's a ways off from now. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I have to take care of something real quick. I'm trying my best to get people to recognize the quality. In fact, the next video I'm going to talk about, it's not going to necessarily discuss quality, but it's going to be a, what do I call it? A subplot to the video. Something underneath the surface, if you look at the subtlety. Oh boy. I want things to be of higher quality. But I need other people to feel that way as well. And too many people say, oh yeah, that's definitely what I want. But then they keep not doing it. At the same time, this also goes for streamers and other YouTube personalities. As I'm doing stuff working on YouTube videos, I'm imagining the scene from A Clockwork Orange where Teaman is forcing us to watch his products, saying this is quality. You know, that's kind of how I've gotten a lot of people into tea, so maybe I will. Maybe I will do that. You also might hear my cat in a little bit, because he wants attention, like he always does. That's one of the funny things from Matsuri. My cat didn't see me for a good 6 days, and when I got back, oh, he has been clingy. But yeah, no joke. Several people who claimed they didn't like tea, I basically forced them to drink tea. Like, held them up against the wall and give them a cup saying, you're not leaving until you drink this. And you know what? It worked. So maybe that's what I need to do. But there's also... Okay, the way I'm going to describe this, it's going to be more insulting than I want it to be. I'm sorry about that. So, what I'm about to say, take it as less insulting than how it sounds. I am not entertained by children's songs like Mary Had a Little Lamb or Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round, because those are too simplistic for me. My brain has evolved past them as everybody else. But for children, it's perfect, fantastic. They can understand. Their brains are not able to pick up the subtleties and nuances of other music. So something simple like Mary Had a Little Lamb, they love it. They can understand it. And that is a problem with quality that that a lot of people, I don't think they have the mental capacity to pick up on the quality. As awful as that sounds. Somebody at some point is going to clip this and take it out of context, and that's going to be a pain in the ass week when that happens in the future. But if you don't know what quality truly is, then how can you really appreciate it? And some things take time. A month or two ago, I'll use an example from my own personal life. I am not really one to look at pictures and be inspired by them in any way. But a month or two ago, I was at a restaurant waiting to pick up some food. And they had a painting up. And this painting up, one second, is contentness part of this? Like people being content? People don't know what being content is. What about teens? I think they might be able to sniff out quality. Teens are in a weird spot where they're craving more quality, but they, again, don't fully know how to appreciate quality. Going back to the story I was just talking about. So there was this painting of somewhere in the forest. There was a waterfall in the background, I believe. Trees everywhere. Lovely sunshine. And I was mesmerized by this painting. I just stopped and looked at it for at least 10 minutes until the food arrived. Just analyzing every single little bit of the painting. Because I've been doing more with Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop and just general creative stuff, I've picked up on techniques and what techniques take more effort and how to use it to give the painting the image it has. And then from personal experience, because it was a forest, there's something primal about it that reminds me of certain things in my past. Things like camping and things that go a little bit deeper than that. It just took me back to those moments, making me think of sitting alongside the river, letting the water just pass me, letting those memories flow on by. And this picture was able to capture those moments for me. So it was a mixture of experience and knowledge that let me truly appreciate the painting that was up. A painting that 5 years ago, I would have just blown right past. And so that's part of the aspect of quality, which I don't know how I can possibly get across to people if they don't have the knowledge or experience to appreciate things the way that they could. You understand what I'm trying to say? If not, let me know. I can try and be a little bit more articulate about it. So the painting gave you nostalgia? Beyond that, it wasn't just nostalgia. Part of it was nostalgia. The other part was seeing the techniques that they used to be able to paint this picture and how they were able to make the trees and the water. I mean, not every part of it was beautiful. Some of the grass and some of the area was kind of ugly, not gonna lie, but the way they were able to combine the colors and make a very distinct foreground and background, it was just beautiful. Sorry, just thinking about it again. Alright. So yeah, quality is a tricky thing. And let's be honest, I am not completely innocent in this as well. I mean, take this live stream, for example. what I could have been doing is I could have been working on the script and the video. But instead, I put this out to have a conversation, hopefully get some super chats, which, by the way, you still can't super chat, showing your support. Promote the Tier of the Month Club a little bit, and just overall, connect with people in a way that's going to be beneficial. But the quality is not... It's not that high, it's just a single picture that's just stationary. And I was completely thrown off my game with the technical issues in the beginning, which is kind of on me. One of the reasons I got thrown off is because everything's been going so smoothly the past 2 weeks that the TV is one thing, but this, because it was just live and had a direct effect, just completely threw me for a loop. Things were going too good for too long. It threw me off. And so yeah, that is partially my rant of quality. But getting people to experience your passion is something it's not easy. Take my Gurren Lagann video, for example. Especially with the speech at the end. That was pure passion. In fact, if memory serves, I think I was able to record that entire end speech in just one take, I think. Which, if you've listened to me speak like this, you see how many times I trip over my words, or I say something that's nonsensical, or something along those lines. So I was speaking straight out of passion with that one. Okay, why? Live chat. Maybe I'll fix it. That fixed it. I'm thinking of writing a fanfic about one of the fighters from the Heavens arc in Hunter x Hunter. The Heavens arc? Which one was the Heavens arc? But I'm afraid it might be complete shit. Do you have any tips? Let it be complete shit. People need to be able to deal with the concept of failure and having to restart things. And just making things that look bad. Going back to my Naruto video, I forgot to use a freaking pop filter throughout the entire thing. I didn't bother going back to edit it. So there was a lot of audio issues. A lot of little visual mishaps I had here and there. It was not my best video by a long shot, but it still somehow managed to get all those views. You can't know what mistakes to avoid if you don't know the mistakes. To begin, the Heavens Arena arc. Oh, is that what he learned about Nen? Was that the arc? Where Gon finally fought a pedophile clown, whatever his name was. Hisoka. So making mistakes and just doing it is highly underrated. If you wait until you are good enough to be able to do anything, you're never gonna be able to do anything. 99.9% of this entire business of mine has been about actually doing the thing, figuring out how the thing actually works from experience, and then molding myself or the thing into something that actually works, and being able to flow with the punches. Here's a fun little fact. You know how I have 20 gram and 50 gram sizes in the tea bags? I used to only have 50 gram sizes. The reason I have 20 gram sizes is because one day I accidentally ordered the wrong size bag. And instead of throwing it out, I decided, okay, I'm introducing a new size, 20 grams. One of the best things I did for the business. So you have to be able to make mistakes, learn from those mistakes, and maybe turn those mistakes into success. Be prepared to be made fun of. Be prepared to take a lot of criticism. It's the ugly side that really leads to the beauty. Nobody gets stuff just right away. Well, that's one of the things I also want to do. I want to get back to Let's Write a Story About Ninja. It's been at least a year since I've done anything with that, so I want to do a video that recaptures all I've said so far in a much smoother way and adds all the other stuff I've thought about. Stop sniffing the mic. This cat, I swear. I want to get back to writing about that. Maybe do live streams where I'm typing up my thoughts as I go along, and people can see how my thought process works. But in order to do that, I need enough financial backing to be able to do something like that. Because I'm still in a space where I gotta focus on being able to make ends meet. But I mean, every month I am growing at least a little bit in terms of financial support, which has been fantastic. And I love you guys for it. I will make that a habit because I think way too much on my failures. Thinking on your failures is something that needs to be done properly. Thinking on your failures and using that to paralyze you is bad, but thinking on your failures and using that to make you move forward is good. But unfortunately, words can only get me so far in this, and it's just a matter of feeling out how it works. Here's something else I do. In almost every script or video that I start out with, you know what I do? I just say, fuck it. And I just start throwing stuff out there because I am good with the middle and the end, but I am awful at beginning a thing. I am awful at it. And so I just kind of start jabbering away at the screen. And eventually I hit something which I say, okay, this is awful, but I can see where I can go with this instead. Delete, delete, delete. Let's start with that. Okay, this is still bad, but I should actually do this. And my script begins, or I know which way my video is going to go. And sometimes it evolves as it goes along. You might notice in a lot of videos that the style I use changes about halfway through. Because I figured out a different way I want to edit stuff. The most prominent example is in Dragon Ball Part 2. Where instead of doing what I wanted to do with the Goku vs Vegeta Kamehameha struggle, or the beam struggle, I just put the copyright thing because I was worried about copyright still. But by the time I got around to Goku going Super Saiyan, I just said to hell with it. And I made things a lot more thematic. So that's how that goes with that. Ooh, that's been a good chat. Does anybody else have any other types of questions or comments or whatever else? And if you want to throw me a super chat, go right on ahead. Like I said, your support is what keeps me going. It's been a fun little stream. Oh, and don't forget to experiment. The last live stream I did, which was the text-only live stream, because I had no mic, that turned out to be much better than I thought. Autumn Goblin, I do have a Patreon. I have a Patreon. I have, I'm gonna delete subscribes out because they're kind of broken. But yeah, I have Patreon, I have YouTube memberships, I have the Team of the Month Club. So yeah, look at the description of this video. It's all listed. And like I said before, every single dollar helps. Oh, ice cream truck at 6:30 at night, sure. The way I describe it is, right now I have a little over 6,000 subscribers. What's the percentage? If only a third of those people, around 2,000, gave a single dollar, that alone will be enough to where I can dedicate at least 2 weeks purely on the YouTube channel. because I have, orders and whatnot coming in as well. But that little bit is enough to get me to start snowballing everything. And snowballing is the key. So, yeah, by all means, please donate to Patreon. Help me get things going. And, yeah, take my e-begging. Which I will never apologize for. What is this? Sorry, I'm getting a couple messages. Yeah, copyright claim, I am aware. Go away. Go away. Go away. Go away. Go away. Okay. What are you gonna talk about more? Yeah, but I don't remember what that more stuff was. Or maybe the more was, if a conversation went a specific way, we will go that direction. Which we kind of did, so that qualifies as more, I guess. Right now we have 7 viewers, and sure enough, I'm not one of those 7 viewers, so it's 7 unique people. 1, 2, 3. We only have about 3 of the 7. Oh, now down to 6. I scared someone off. The people have been quiet. Do you guys have anything to add? Any comments to make? Anything, feel free to speak up. Because if nobody has anything else, I think we can wrap this up. It's been an hour and 16 minutes. Honestly, it's been a little bit less than what I was going for, but yeah, things happen, and the disaster that was the last stream was not fun. The most should be about bad isekai. Yeah. But we ragged on it enough today, and there's going to be plenty more in future streams about it. I'm still thinking about passion when it comes to work. Oop. Shoot. Bad cat. Oh, one picture of the same town. Passion when it comes to work. Oh. It's a difficult thing to talk about because everyone has their own unique life. And so different things make them passionate for different reasons. Because they don't want to make something that feels like junk. Well, the first part you have to get comfortable with making junk. Funnily enough. It's like if I wanted to be an artist, but I didn't want to make crappy art, well, to get to the good stuff, you have to make crappy art. You see this with musicians a lot. Mozart made, 3,000 different songs or something along those lines, and people only talk about 10. Shakespeare wrote thousands of different plays, but we only talk about a handful of them that were really good. So if you want to make the next Romeo and Juliet, be prepared to make a crap ton of Twilight. Or something of low quality like that. Because you can't learn until you do. The doing is incredibly important. I might plan to do some kind of a video or live stream about just the concept of passion in general, but something which I can take notes on and be a little bit more articulate with what I'm saying. Because if you can't tell, all of this is just, I'm flying by the seat of my pants as I'm talking about all of this. It's not other people's responsibility to tell you if you were passionate when making the art. That is true. It's not other people's responsibility. but really they should be able to feel it from the work that you do. Like with artist Anime Matsuri, I saw a lot of people who would just, they were trying to do what was popular at the moment, and just trying to hit on people's damn it, I want to be mean. Hit on people's more simplified tastes. You know, what's currently in the 15 minutes of fame? Get people to buy on that. Alright, I think... Imagine someone being passionate enough about a random background character and making a fanfiction. That's a little bit... That's another aspect of being passionate that's not easy to talk about. Some people think they're passionate about a thing, but they're not actually passionate about that thing. They're passionate about what other people think of them for having their opinions on that thing. Because I love game directors like Suda51, what it feels like his idea and style. Ah, boy. Yeah, let me adjust myself real quick so I can be nice and comfortable when I talk about this one. So you know the concept of gatekeeping in anime? Oh, you say you like anime? Name me 5 anime besides the popular ones. I used to laugh at that and say, yeah, those people suck. But now I kind of agree. Because there is a ridiculous amount of people who have kind of jumped on the I like anime because it's hip and fresh bandwagon. You know, it's like the teenager who saw his friends being goth, so he became goth, and now he says, "This is who I am, Mom!" It's kind of like that. Where people are trying to get the validation from other people, and the love bombs, as they're called, where, hey, you like a thing? I like a thing too. Praise me for liking the thing. And it's not as... I'll use this as an example. When the Pokemon card game exploded back in the late 90s, I got swept in it as well. Except when I got swept up in it, it wasn't about other people's approval that I was playing it as well. I actually liked the game and the cards. Everybody was busy collecting. I was worried about battle strength. And so, when the whole thing died down, I kept playing and collecting for a long time after that. Even though nobody else around me was, I was still doing it. So think about that if something is your passion or not. If nobody around you was doing the thing, or cared that you were doing the thing, or even made fun of you for doing the thing, would you still be doing whatever that thing is? And do you love it for what it's done? I'll try and give an example of my past life as a martial artist, where I used to be quite a pathetic kid. No confidence whatsoever, weak, fat, just overall pathetic. But thanks to martial arts and what it gave me strength I did not know even existed. It gave me the ability to do things I never thought I'd be able to do. And so because of that, I gained a love for martial arts itself. The concept, the idea, the practice. A love that extended beyond my own personal feelings, if that makes any sense. How can my feelings of love extend beyond my feelings. It makes no sense, but when you have something of that level of passion, it does. It's weird. I like a lot of indie games, so I'm used to people not knowing what I'm talking about games-wise. So yeah, that type of passion in which you love something for what it is, regardless of people's opinions of you or it. And you want that something to grow, where you're willing to sacrifice parts of yourself to make that something grow. Like this tea shop, for example, / YouTube channel. I have sacrificed a ridiculous amount. I have sacrificed friends. Friends that I was close with in ways that I cannot describe to other people. I've sacrificed my health. A lot of my health. Where I'm kind of touch and go with certain things where I wondered, is there a recovery from this? Because I've given so much to the vision that I have for what I want this business to be. And I want this business to be something that goes beyond just me. I want the business to be an idea where even if I were to kick the bucket at some point, people know what the Dragon's Treasure is about. Where if somebody else took over, it doesn't matter who takes it over, because people know what the Dragon's Treasure is, and they cannot change what that something is. It's so hard to talk to people about games when I only play 2 of them and each have a tiny player base. That too. But I am satisfied at the growth that I have been experiencing. And slowly but surely, ironically, the shit quality of these streams will improve. I don't want to use a camera, not because of laziness or anything. It's just because my mannerisms are not very appealing. That's it. I mean, my face is on 3 of my videos already. I got hiccups out of nowhere. So it's not a matter of that, it's just a matter of... doesn't make the stream any better. Actually makes it worse, I think. But I can still be doing more. Have I ever heard of a developer known as Treasure? I have not. Who here in the comments or in the live chat was following the Let's Create a Story About Ninja? Was anyone here following that, or... I'm curious because I want to see how much interest still exists in that. Because I do want to start it off again. I've had a lot of ideas of how I want to do it. Gotta bounce by. Farewell, my fellow Slav. This reminds something my dad said where... Get this mess out of the way. You need to find your girlfriend... Wait. What? You need to find your girlfriend and your girlfriend, which he means by passion with his compassion. What do you mean by that? Say it in a different way. Just reminds me what that said. What he said. You need to find your girlfriend and your girlfriend, which he means by passion with his comparison. Nah, I can't figure it out, Mr. Eden. I'm sorry. Ugh. Sadly not me, but I would be a part of it. Yeah, because I know I have a lot of writers who follow the channel, and I really want to get that going again. But since it's something that's not very, doesn't make me enough money at the moment, I can't do it, which is why I want my passive income to get to the point where I am okay with doing stuff that doesn't make me immediate money. and it's something that's going to add to the growth of what I'm doing here. Okay, we have hit hour-and-a-half long stream. I don't want to go on too long with this, because there is a couple of other things I would like to do as well. Yeah, I think that about wraps it up. Thank you all who have joined us on this originally rage-filled stream. And I wonder if there's a way to test this stuff out. Because like I said, the mic was working before I started the stream. Then once I hit go, it changed and the Yeti mic vanished. So I apologize to everybody who was listening in on that god-awful sound before. But it is what it is. And yeah, thank you for joining me. Consider signing up for Patreon, Tea of the Month Club, or just any other type of basic donation. Highly appreciated. And that's it.